Hi, my name is Ajinkya Kolhe, and I want to share my journey about how I overcame my problems, how I actually became better than what I could have became if I followed the same path. So, if you check, almost everyone is suffering, no matter what we are, where we are in life. We always want to do something else. We want to be better. We want to be stronger. We want to be richer. We want to be happier. Or there are so many things we want to do, but we don't. Or on the other hand, we have many people who are really struggling, stuck in some negative loop, stuck in some bad job, stuck in a place where nobody appreciates them, stuck in a job where they don't earn a lot at all. So it's like we are either struggling, or even if we are succeeding, we are not really happy. So no matter where you are, I think we still can move up in life. We can do much better. We can be stronger, and we can achieve much more than what we thought ever was possible. And I want to share how one can do that. Rather, I want to share how I did that. So let me tell you something about myself. I'm graduated from a good college, and I like studying. So I would have uh, I did get a good job. I would have continued on a similar great jobs, but I had some problems. I didn't know how to manage my emotions. I was not a lot of self-aware. I did not have a lot of EQ. Because of these things, I actually went into depression. I stopped my MS, and I had a break. So in that, many of people who actually go into depression, I think most of them recover, but most of them, rather very few of them, recover and become stronger. So there are two terms: post trauma. So it's like once you have been into trauma, there are two things which are possible. It's like post traumatic stress disorder. That's what happens to apparently many military people. So it's like you are afraid of what happened, you are scarred because of what happened. So you have post traumatic trauma, stress disorder. At the other hand, you have post traumatic growth. Because of what you went through, you became stronger, you became better, and you could actually achieve much more than what you otherwise could have. That is exactly what happened in my case, and I want to share that journey with you. So now I work as a machine learning and data engineering instructor at Google. I read a lot and read much better than I used to before. It's like not just talking about career success, but in terms of my mental peace, in terms of my uh, journey towards personal development, I have actually done a lot more than what I could have. So I want to share that journey. So this journey of self improvement is based on one thing: change. If we are improving, it means we are changing. We are changing for the better. Anyone who is changing for the worse is still changing, but we don't really change. That's the problem. It's like everyone resists the change, and that's why we don't really either move up or move down. So it's like from a Westworld TV series, there was a really powerful dialogue by a Ford character in that series. So the dialogue goes like this: evolution forged entire life which we see, entirety of sentient life, based on one thing: mistake. So nature makes mistake, and whichever mistake works is selected to be passed on next generation. So everything we see, everything which we see in the world is developed by that mutation. Mutation is word for change. And the mutation which is good is selected, it gets passed on, and that's how everything was developed. So we actually are proud to call ourselves a species which makes a lot of mistakes. We say to err is human, right? So, but we only make mistakes. Evolution has a very important words like mistake, mutation, and adaptation. So we change. That's the point. That's how we move up. That's how we move on. That's how we grow up. But whereas in us, we just err. We just keep on making the same mistake again and again and again, not really learning from it. So there was a really amazing quote I read was like, most people who have 20 years of experience have 1 year experience repeated 20 times. That is exactly true. We are just making the same mistake. We are not really learning from it. So we need to learn. If you want to improve, we need to change. And again, from an anime called as One Punch Man, it's like it has a really powerful moment. We are a very strong species because we can choose to change. Everyone has ability to change. Everybody. We don't have to be a failure. We don't have to be stressed. We don't have to be obsessive. We don't have to be whatever we are. We can choose to change. Everyone can change. And I have changed myself. I don't even recognize myself compared to how I was. I'm just so I want to share that journey with you. So it's like this: adapt. We want to adapt. We want to change, and how we can do that. This is what this entire lecture series is going to be about. So, in summary, actually, before we change, we need to find out what to change. So that's point number one: finding out what to change. And then point number two is the process to change. So that's the two major points. No matter what we are, where we are, which situation we are in, it does not matter. There are only two components: finding out what to change, and second is the process to change. They are common across no matter where you are. Okay. Now, point number one: finding out what to change. Have you ever noticed we always have advice for others, but not really for ourselves? That's what happens. Why does it happen? Because there are few things. One, we are not objective about ourselves. We are so swept into the emotions which we are feeling, we really stop using our brain. And we need to learn to become objective. So anyway, point was, in finding out what to change, we actually need to start noticing stuff. So the quality to develop is self-awareness. So self awareness is all about knowing yourself, your own strengths, your own weaknesses, what you need to change, what you don't need to change, what is actually true from criticism someone else is doing, and what is actually not true. So as long as we are confident in ourselves, in our strengths, weaknesses, qualities, virtues, vices, we won't really feel insecure. I think we spent most of our time denying who we are. Is that self denial or self delusion? Everybody is failing, they don't think they're failing. Everyone else thinks that they're failing. So to develop self-awareness, we need to stop self-delusion. One thing: face the truth. No matter where we are in life, start seeing how where you are in life truthfully. Develop self-awareness, then you'll realize how good or how bad your situations are, and then you'll move up. So I was in really bad place. So I had a career break. I was very angry. I was very short tempered, and because of that, I was neither a good friend nor a good brother, or I was not even a good human being. I was extremely short tempered, and along with all of my rest of my flaws, it was not. I was not really a pleasant to be around. So self awareness. When I saw myself for who I am, I was ashamed of who I was. So self awareness helped me realize that. Now, there was again in movie Shutter Island, there was towards the end of it, the main actor or the villain says, "What do you think is worse? To die as a good man or to live as a monster?" What does it mean? It's like when we are self aware and we know that we are a bad person, it's like that is the reason we actually deny the truth. Many people who need to change, they don't change because they want to deny the truth, because they can't face the truth. But the point is, we can change. We don't have to be the monster. We don't have to be whatever we are. We are anyways that, but we don't have to remain there. So self delusion is like we have to start facing the truth, and to actually move on from what we are, we need to be kind to ourselves. This is where I was really bad at. I was extremely self critical. I had very low self worth because I did not have self kindness. So I did improve, but in that journey was really difficult for me emotionally because I was not kind to myself. I've recently realized that, and since past 2 months, I think I have been being I'm learning to be more kind to myself, and now I think it's helped me reduce my stress a lot. So self awareness, start facing the truth, be kind to yourself while you're facing the truth, and learn to be objective. So, because if we can take ourselves away from the emotions in the situation which you're feeling, then we can advise ourselves. Nobody knows our situation better than ourselves. Nobody knows our strength better than ourselves. And if we have a 24 by 7 advice machine with us, being us, that's when we can actually learn and improve a lot. So self awareness is essential because then we develop ourselves to find out what can be changed. So to develop self awareness, there are two things which we can do. First is journaling. So wherein you write about your thoughts and emotions. Keep doing that on paper. Keep doing that for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Then you'll notice more emotions, more thoughts. You'll become more clear in that. And over time, that will help you identifying what you should change, what you should not, what you could change, what you cannot, and what might help you more, what might not help you more, where you are self. I mean, all your you will be your own mentor. You'll give the best advice to yourself. So journaling. I have started journaling since 2017, I think. It's been almost more than 2 years. I do journaling on pen and paper. That's, I think, the most effective way where we can just cross something which is not working. And there's always a lot of papers that really helps. So write on paper. It always helps. So the way to develop self-awareness is journaling. Another thing which aids is meditation. Everybody says do meditation. It helps you dealing with stress, blah, blah, blah. So there are a lot of advantages of meditation. So I'm going to make a separate video for why to do journaling, how to do journaling, why to do meditation, how to do meditation. But here in this context of the video, I'm talking about meditation to become more self-aware. So I started doing meditation, which was just a mindfulness meditation. Another word for mindfulness meditation is nothing but awareness. Aware of your own thoughts and feelings. That helped me identify what to do, right? So it's like every journey I've taken, everything I've changed in that meditation and journaling helped me. So for more than 2 years, it's been I've been journaling and meditating constantly, and in that now I feel my self-awareness is good enough that everything I do, I'm much more effective. So for meditation, I recommend an app called as Aware. It's a really great app. It has a lot of different courses, each course for different thing which you want to target. You should really check that out. Aware meditation app. It's a really good app. So two things, like I said, journaling, do it on paper. It always helps. Second thing is like meditation, mindfulness meditation. Again, very helpful. The self-awareness is extremely important for self-development. Self-awareness is essential for self-development. So one thing, identifying what to change. And then the second part is how to change. So how to change is all about following a process. So answer to all how to change questions is two things: training and practice. Training and practice. And who does train the most? Athletes. I envy athletes. So it's like athletes are training their entire life to be the best in the world. And they have a professional system which helps them do that. They have coaches, they have training regimes, they have everyone to compete against. So it's like they have a dedicated people who help them in their entire journey. So I think we should really learn from that approach taken by athletes. So in athletes, we have training and practice. So training means train to improve, and practice is to make that improvement permanent. Self-awareness to find out what to change. When you find out what to change, now let's say identify something. So I myself started to change from, let's say I wanted to work on my short tempered. I was short tempered. I mean, I'm a trainer, but previously when someone asked me some question, and if that question was simple, it used to really set me off. I was extremely sharp in my words. So I wanted to work on my short temperedness. I was really impulsive. I was really moody. So I wanted to work on that. So identifying that, self-awareness. Second part, training. So how do you train? So find out what helps in that. So in that, apparently meditation helped. So I started doing meditation. So training is following the training regime for some time until you start seeing results. In terms of athletes, how does it go? When you start doing something, it takes 2 months. It takes 2 months until you start seeing the change in your brain. Anyone who exercises, you might know, if you are exercising, you're doing muscle training, stuff like that, it still takes 2 months to see the actual change in your muscle structure, to grow new muscles. Same is for your body, brain. Your brain is also muscle, and I think the most powerful muscle. We can go on different planet. We can invent machines, we can move, which can move, let's say, lots and lots. It's like unimaginable weight. So that's how powerful our brain is. And our brain is also a muscle. It takes 2 months for it to start changing. So when you start training anything, your brain starts changing in 2 months. So you have to learn to be patient until then. When you continue beyond that 2 months, let's say 2 more months, again 2 more months. So I think 6 to 8 months is when the changes will start becoming more prominent. And when you keep doing that beyond, let's say 2 years, 1 year, that's when they'll start becoming permanent. So training is when you level up. When you level up, then you practice that same thing to make it permanent. So 2 years is what it takes to make something permanent. So from 2017, I've been doing meditation and journaling constantly. It's been more than 2 years now. I think the habit of meditation and a habit of journaling is more kind of like a reflex now. It's like whatever thoughts I have, I'm very self-aware. Rather, I'm much more self-aware than I was before, and I think there is still ways to go. But it comes to more naturally to me now, and it's like it's just helped me be much more in control than how I was before. I was very impulsive, very emotional, and very moody. So being moody has plus points. It helps you when you're on positive mood. It helps you be do more. But when you're on the downside, then when you do nothing then. So in that journey, being that starting the training on that, it took me 2 years. So there are so many things I've worked on. It's like I think my list is around 20, 25 different things, new qualities which I have learned from scratch. And it's like I'm better at my job, I'm better at my personal life, I'm better at having a mental peace. So all of that possible only because of following this training plan. 2 months until the change starts. Keep doing that for, let's say, 2 or 3 more iterations of 2 month slot. That's when it starts becoming more prominent. That's when you'll start noticing the change. And keep doing that, and it becomes permanent. So human beings are strong because we have ability to change ourselves. That's the quote from One Punch Man. Now, just because we have ability to change ourselves doesn't mean everyone changes. Why? Because nobody waits that long. Like I said, 2 years is all it takes to change. All it takes to change permanently. But everyone, almost everyone, is stuck at who they are now. I am not who I was 2 years back. I'm not who I was in 2017, before 2017. So it's like we are just repeating the same mistakes. If you don't want to do that, if you want to really move on, if you want to move up in life, financially, mentally, emotionally, in relationships, whatever it may be, then you need to actually start taking steps accordingly to learn what to change. Self-awareness. If you don't want to go out that way, then you just identify one thing. You can follow this training plan. 2 months, create a training plan, follow the training plan, and step by step. Now on the second part, it's like I recommend you everybody start with these two things, journaling and meditation, because no matter what you're doing, self-awareness helps, because it ties back to the second point. How does it tie? When you're, let's say, training, how is your training going? Is it really working or not? You can only know that if you're self-aware. So training involves a small point, but it's very important. Tracking. How is your training going? And to identify that, we need self-awareness. So self-awareness is must, no matter where you are in life. I think I would suggest you to start with meditation and journaling. If you don't want to, then maybe in the training. So I have the series of lectures which I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna list few things which are essential for everybody to succeed in their life, finance, in whatever area they want. So you can just start with those points as well, and maybe after you have seen results in your life, then maybe you can start with the meditation and journaling. So let me see if I have covered everything. Yeah. So to summarize, self-awareness and like athlete, how to change, process to change. Process to change is like training and practice. In terms of exact scientific term, it's called as neuroplasticity. If someone is impatient, it's like it doesn't mean you will remain impatient. If you think you are not smart, it doesn't mean you will remain that way. It's like it's the entire world. Everyone is the same species. So means anybody else who can do something, we can do that. We have the same raw material, and the process to that is training, and the time to do that. So time to see the change, 2 months. 2 months is all it takes to see some bit of change. 6 to 8 months is all it takes to see quite noticeable change, and 2 years to make it permanent. You can choose anything and do it for 2 years, and you can make it permanent. So it's like, if you want to transform yourself, if you want to be the leader in whichever field you want, it's possible. All you have to do is follow the process. That's how easy it is to change and improve. So that's it for this video. And subsequent videos, I'm going to choose one skill at a time. I'm going to talk about more of that, what involves, how did I do it, and share my journey in learning those. So keep following me here, and thanks a lot.